I've seen it happen so many times. You spot a cheap conference bar on a discount site. You think you're saving a bundle. You set it up, and then the audio drops, the video lags, and the whole meeting feels like a bad Wi-Fi call. The regret is real, especially when you've got a team that depends on clear communication. That's why I spent a few days actually wiring a small Huddle room with the Logitech Rally Bar Huddle plus the Tap IP Ethernet kit before I hit record. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation people have is do I really need a dedicated Ethernet connection? The Rally Bar can run over Wi-Fi, but the Tap adds a straight RJ45 line that promises up to a gigabit of data transfer. In my test office, the Wi-Fi signal was bouncing off a concrete wall, and I was seeing occasional pixelation during screen shares. Once I plugged the Tap into the wall jack, the video stayed crisp, the audio stayed in sync, and the whole meeting felt like it was happening in the same room. That reliability is the core reason the price jumps from a budget bar to this premium bundle. Now, who should consider spending this kind of money? If you run a permanent Huddle space, say a 6 to 8 person breakout room, a client-facing consultation corner, or a small conference pod that you use daily, the Rally Bar Huddle plus Tap makes sense. The unit is a 4K camera with a 180-degree field of view, so you can capture the whole table without having to swivel a separate webcam. The built-in speaker array and mic array are tuned for a room of this size, and because the hardware is all-in-one, you don't need a separate sound system. For a startup that wants a professional impression on client calls, or a larger company that wants a consistent experience across multiple satellite offices, this is the kind of plug-and-play solution that saves IT time. On the flip side, if you're only using a laptop for occasional Zoom calls in a coffee shop-style area, you'll likely be better off with a smaller USB camera and a Bluetooth speaker. The Rally Bar is overkill for a single-person desk, and you'll be paying for features you never use, like the auto-framing algorithm that tracks multiple speakers or the AI-driven noise suppression that's built into the mic array. Those are great for a room that fills up, but they add to the cost without adding value for a solo user. One of the practical strengths I noticed was the simplicity of the setup. The Tap comes with a Power over Ethernet (PoE) injector, so you only need one cable from the wall to the unit and a second cable to power the bar itself. There's no need for a separate power brick for the camera, which reduces clutter on the desk. The on-screen menu walks you through network configuration step by step, and because it's using standard 10/100/1000 base T technology, you can connect it to any managed switch that already supports VLAN tagging if you need to separate video traffic from the rest of your network. For an office that already has a robust Ethernet backbone, that's a hidden time saver that you don't see on the spec sheet. However, there are a couple of trade-offs you should be aware of. The bar itself is a fairly large slab that sits on a tabletop or wall mount. In my Huddle room, the bar took up about 12 inches of depth, which meant I had to shift the whiteboard a little to keep the line of sight clear. It's not a deal breaker, but you need to plan the furniture layout ahead of time. Also, while the Tap guarantees a fast connection, it does require a PoE-compatible switch or the included injector. If your network infrastructure is still on older non-PoE equipment, you'll have to buy an injector or upgrade the switch, adding a few extra dollars to the bill. Another real-world detail is the software integration. Logitech's Rally Bar works natively with Zoom, Teams, and Google Meet, but the experience isn't identical across all platforms. In Zoom, the one-button join feature works flawlessly. You press the button on the bar and the meeting starts. In Teams, I noticed a brief pause while the device negotiates the video stream, but it still connects without manual input. If your organization has a single platform standard, you'll get the smoothest experience, but mixed platform environments might need a little extra tweaking in the admin console. From a value perspective, the headline specs, 4K resolution, 10-fold Ethernet speed, AI-driven framing, are impressive, but the actual money saver is the reduction in IT overhead. Before I installed this, the office IT team was spending roughly an hour a week troubleshooting Wi-Fi dropouts and microphone feedback in the Huddle room. After the Rally Bar and Tap were live, those tickets vanished. That translates to real dollars saved over the life of the device, especially for companies that run dozens of small rooms. If you're a tech-savvy buyer who likes to tinker, you might wonder about firmware updates. Logitech rolls out updates automatically when the bar is